Should this card be in your initiative deck lists? Is green-white initiative the future? Let's find out. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video, and today we are going to be looking at a pretty unique green-white Legacy initiative deck list. This got a top 16 finish in one of the Legacy challenges from this weekend, and it really piqued my interest. To start things off, it is playing both Seasoned Dungeoneer and Undermountain Adventurer, meaning that it has two relatively strong 4-mana ways to go and take the initiative. And this deck is going to be playing a lot of ramp, the Ancient Tombs, the Chrome Mox, and the Elvish Spirit Guides, all those sorts of things so that we can go and power these out. But that's not going to be the only way that they go about ramping these out. We are also going to be playing 8 mana dorks in this deck list, 4 Ignoble Hierarchs and 4 Noble Hierarchs. And so in addition to just ramping out these initiative cards, these can also be the fodder for Natural Order and the ramp into the Natural Order. And so you can then Natural Order into something that's really hard to deal with like Progenitus, or alternatively, you can just go and get a whole bunch of gas by grabbing something like Araxa. So ultimately, what we're working with here is a deck list that can be attacking from a couple of different angles, and this deck isn't actually going to play prison pieces at all. Instead of playing something like Chalice of the Void or Trinisphere that is typical of these shells, this version is just opting to go and play Veil of Summer, which can be protection against black removal spells, or more commonly, it is your protection against a Force of Will or other thing that is going to stop your powerful Haymaker from happening in the first place. So let's take a look at the whole deck list now. By the way, this video is sponsored by Moxfield.com as well as Cool Stuff Inc. Promo code ThrabenU will save you 5% on your order over at Cool Stuff Inc. if you decide you want to buy any of these cards or other ones. So we've got sort of a Green Sun package here that's very light. It's honestly mostly a collector oof. Otherwise, this is serving as additional copies of Undermountain Adventurers or as additional ramp spells for our Dryad Arbor. The big thing that I want to point out here is the sideboard. This has a pivot plan of Leyline of the Void as well as Helm of Obedience. So what's really neat about this deck is it's attacking on this fast initiative front, it's attacking on this Natural Order Progenitus front, and you have these Haymaker cards like Leyline of the Void, Choke, and even the very, very spicy Bane of Progress to just absolutely wreck an 8-cast player. I like the design of this deck a lot, so my question is this better than other initiative decks that already exist? Moon Stompy with Caves of Chaos Adventure is already very strong. There's already multiple other existing initiative decks. Does this have what it takes? Let's find out. Let's battle. All right, round 1, opening hand looks solid. By the way, thank you very much to Benjamin for giving me a Dealer's Choice donation deck list to make this league happen. 1 mana, 2 mana, Imprint, 3 mana, Elvish Spirit Guide, 4 mana, turn 1 Seasoned Dungeoneer. Okay. I'm in for that. I can't do it with the Veil of Summer available. Oh no. Did you just realize the problem with my hand? It doesn't actually do the thing that I want on turn 1. I messed up. I played this wrong, because I don't have access to white mana. This is my white mana. This is hopefully fine. 4 mana, Seasoned Dungeoneer. That's fine. I'll be doing the same thing. Alright, I don't even have to use Elvish Spirit Guide here then. I will go ahead and just Seasoned Dungeoneer and grab a land. So we are going to trade hits back and forth. So I think this is going to come down to who ends up having more gas. Chalice of the Void does not count as gas here. My Elvish Spirit Guide just legit being 2/2 dudes may matter. But my opponent has an Ancient Tomb. They are ahead of me in terms of the Undercity by 1 step, but I am going to have Exalted. Alright, they are a red-white initiative build. Yeah, these Elvish Spirit Guides are definitely relevant. Araxa's not so much. Alright. Ancient Tomb. Not the best here. I will also be going to Forge and forging up my Seasoned Dungeoneer. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ancient Tomb could be 5, 6. Is it worth it for me to play 2 Spirit Guides this turn at the cost of some life? If my opponent hits both times on Seasoned Dungeoneer, they have 7 plus 8. I guess Trap is also in play here. The 6, 12 plus Trap is already 17. I'm already dead if they get 2 combat steps. I just played the beginning of this game wrong and it may cost me. I think I played 2 Spirit Guides. And this gives me the opportunity to attack for more or fully blanks a Rebel Master attack in. Oh, fuck. It's my deck. Oh, no. We were never beating this turn. Never, ever, ever, ever beating this turn. Okay, so there is a Winota that is attacking. And the Caves of Chaos Adventurer that tramples. Oh yeah, that's not great. I am just fully dead to that, even if I block the 2 big ones. Concede. So if I thought my opponent was playing Winota, I could have played single Spirit Guide, held up Caracas. What would I have drawn? Not something that gets me lethal. Okay. My opponent has more aggressive starts than I do. So, what is my plan? I don't have removal. I can board out Veil of Summer. I am thinking about Leyline Helm as something that just races the pure speed of my opponent's deck. Like, I think my primary plan is either Natural Order them or Leyline Helm them. What would I cut if I were to take 8 cards out of this deck? 1, 2. Like, do I legit do this? Or no, I don't have to fully do that if I want to go to this plan. I do this. I don't know about this. Doesn't feel great, doesn't feel terrible. I just think I'm the worst initiative deck by a lot. I think I have to be the combo deck. I am going to submit like this. Alright, how quickly do I natural order? On turn 3, I natural order. I consider this acceptable. Only because I'm on the play, though. I think on the draw, this is slow. Alright, my opponent is on 6. And I'm going to grab a basic forest here. And let's see how bad this turn is for me. Dead Gone is quite bad. Okay. Hopefully my opponent does not have, like, Ancient Tomb as acceleration beyond this. Okay, technically not Ancient Tomb. However, I'm in trouble. So the reason turn 3 is so important is because turn 3 is the turn that, like, Winota can traditionally come down. Life's awkward. I needed to play this land last turn to work towards exactly drawing Ancient Tomb. I needed to end of turn fetch Dryad Arbor. Alright. I guess just, like, please don't have the Winota. Dead Gone into Rabble Master and Winota is going to beat me. Uh-oh, there's the floating mana. Yeah, this is 3 Winota triggers. I'm going to die here. And I think even if I had an Atraxa, this beats me a good portion of the time. Alright, there's Seasoned Dungeoneer. They get the initiative. They forge up a creature. And these would be indestructible for the turn. Rabble Master gets big. And another Seasoned Dungeoneer, I get trapped immediately. So if I got Atraxa this turn, I would have blocked Goblin Rabble Master and still lost a very significant amount of life and probably eat Throne of the Dead 3 next turn. Yeah, I concede here. Yeah, that small misplay was very costly. But again, I don't think I was beating it anyway. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, which is just the best place to host your online deck lists, and I don't think it's close. I think it's wonderfully organized, and you can have a great system of folders so that you can go through, separate your decks by whatever you want. I separate mine by format. I have just a few legacy decks, and Moxfield is able to keep track of all the decks that even someone like me makes. So please consider checking them out. I am going to keep this hand. This hand is fine as long as I don't draw Progenitus, because I've already drawn Atraxa with this hand. Urza Saga. So we have a clear clock on the other side of the battlefield. And we're going to go ahead and try to accelerate into a Progenitus, which hopefully beats a pair of Urza Saga tokens. We are potentially playing against 8-cast. It also could be a Black Saga Storm deck or something like that. There are other options. Okay, they're just going to make that at sorcery speed to turn on Metalcraft. Another Mox Opal. And a Chalice of the Void. That is relevant versus my Noble Hierarch that I do have here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and play out Caracas and pass. Edges a little bit versus my opponent having a Sai or Emery. Alright, another Construct. Imagine I'll eat a Shadow Spear here, probably. Aether Spellbomb could happen. It is a Spellbomb. I'm going to eat 6 damage here. And then just really hope that my opponent doesn't crack the Spellbomb. Oh, thank God they didn't. That's a pretty big mistake, in my opinion. But, if they have Force of Will or whatever, it doesn't actually matter. So, don't have Force of Will, please. Nice. We will be taking a big fat Progenitus that my opponent so kindly let me have when they could have stopped that. And then, if they had bounced it, both Ignoble Hierarchs were stuck in my hand. Another Urza Saga. Oh, fuck, there's a Kappa Cannoneer. That is a problem. Alright, my opponent's at 14. I cannot attack with Progenitus here. Alright. So they eat a body in on the attack. If my opponent has an artifact, I'm deterministically dead to Kappa Cannoneer. I think they played their turn a bit wrong. I think you're supposed to tap this for a mana for Kappa Cannoneer so you can draw a card with this to more likely have lethal the following turn. See what we can do here. I will cast this Once Upon a Time. I'm taking an Elvish Spirit Guide. I'm always dead if my opponent has an artifact, because they activate Urza Saga, they play a second artifact, that's unblockable 7. In the worlds where they do not have an artifact, I can hope they mess up. I can fetch Dryad Arbor, go to 6, try to block this Construct token, hope they miss bouncing it with Spellbomb, and survive at 1. That feels better than holding back. Alright, let's crash on in there. I'm on board dead, but my opponent. Okay, yeah, there's the artifact that literally always killed me. All right, there's 7 unblockable damage. I do not beat that. That is unfortunate. We were very close there. My opponent made a crucial misstep, and I couldn't quite punish. All right, I like Force of Vigor and Bane of Progress here. I will probably go Veil of Summer out. And probably call this about good. I'll trim one other card somewhere. Since I'm bringing in Bane of Progress, which is, I guess, technically also a natural order target, I can probably get rid of one of the 2 fatties. I think I get rid of Progenitus. I will be keeping this opening hand. There's some degree of risk here in that I could not get... it is theoretically possible for me to completely whiff on a mana source with this Once Upon a Time. That did not happen. I think I just want this to be a land here. I'm fine fetching a Savannah and starting off with some acceleration. I have Force of Vigor for some early plays my opponent can do. And I'm hoping that, doing that into a Collector Oof in some capacity is going to be strong. Your Chalice is fine. I wouldn't even remove that as of right now. Thoughtcast is good. Yep, this is all fine. Emery's not a problem. I have Caracas. Force of Will is quite good against my current situation. One of them has been milled. I think I just start here and see if this resolves. It does resolve. So now we will go ahead and play Caracas, bounce the Emery out of play. I have Force of Vigor or a Urza Saga that could come down. Hey, an Urza Saga. Yep, this is all fine. Do I Force of Vigor now? If I draw a mana source, I could hardcast it, but if I draw a mana source, I could also just play Seasoned Dungeoneer. So I think I'm into this. Let's grab Urza's Saga. Chalice or the Opal? I think the Chalice. Assuming Collector Oof stays around, those are, like, the clear picks. Okay, that's enough for a concession. I'm not going to change anything about sideboarding. We're just going to hope to run that back. I think this hand is probably fine. I'm going to keep it. I have a Force of Vigor to start with, and a Green Sun for Collector Oof sometime in the not-too-distant future after that. These baubles are okay. When they start enabling Metalcraft, that things get a little scarier. Yep, that's fine. Broadcast is fine. Alright, are we going to see something like an Emery? No. I'm going to wait till my turn to cast Once Upon a Time. I just want to get deeper into my deck before I make a decision about what I actually want. Let's cast this. Oh god, we just found the Collector Oof. Yep. So I will go ahead and, somewhat awkwardly, go ahead and play my Chromox. We'll imprint the other Once Upon a Time. And we will drop a turn 1 Collector Oof. And we still have Force of Vigor for, you know, an Urza Saga that would come down. Yes. So my opponent is going to cast a Kappa Cannoneer here, which is fine. I will go ahead and play this, cast a Hierarch, cast a Green Sun for Dryad Arbor, and we're just working towards a position where I can just pay the 4 mana ward cost on Kappa Cannoneer. Sure, that's fine. I will take a little bit of damage. Any green card lets me take Kappa Cannoneer off the table. Or, and hear me out, we could do something else. Oh, this is so sick. Please don't have the counterspell. Ooh. That's rough. That puts me down a mana source. That was going to get Bane of Progress and nuke every permanent except for Otawara. Alright, opponent's at 16. Any green card is fine. A natural order is great. Oh, this is blockable this turn. Interesting. I don't block, though. I need my mana sources. I'm at 6. Okay, so that is a green card. So in my opponent's upkeep, I Force of Vigor for free, targeting both of these, pay 4 for the ward cost, and I'm good. Alright. Alright, 3 damage. Target 1, target 2. Exile a green card. Pay the ward. My opponent now has a Chalice on 0, and I have Collector Oof in play. I have Sai and Emery covered via Caracas. At 3 mana, what does this turn into? Ooze? Probably Ooze. Fashion for my 3. My opponent's at 10. I'm going to drop access to Caracas to cast this. And I can start growing Ooze. This will keep my opponent from, like, looping Kappa Cannoneers and Thought Monitors from Graveyard if Emery does somehow get in play past Caracas. Okay, that was a little tense since my opponent drew the counterspell for Natural Order, but we still got there. GG's. Alright, I took a little lunch break. Back to record some more. This hand looks like it goes fast. My opponent is playing Giganta. Could be like lands, could be burn. How am I playing this? Turn 1, landing Noble Hierarch. Turn 2, Ancient Tomb, one of these 2 cards. I can probably pitch Chrome Mox with this hand then. Looks a little like lands. A lot like lands. Second one, Rose. And Urza Saga, sure. What a powerhouse of a hand. I think I'm okay as long as Punishing Fire doesn't kill Noble Hierarch. I will go ahead and cast this. 1, 2, 3, 4 is natural order for Progenitus next turn. I think I take Elvish Spirit Guide so that if this dies, I can still do this. Alright. We've got a game plan. I don't really want to go this Undermountain Adventurer route because, like, my opponent had turn 1 Urza Saga with double Moxen. Okay, so it's Sphere of Resistance lands. Got it. Alright, Loam is fine. Cool. I'll go ahead and natural order, sacking the Spirit Guide. And we will not be going for Atraxa versus a deck that could just find Caracas very easily. We're going to try to 2-turn my opponent with Progenitus. This isn't necessarily a guaranteed win here. Like, my opponent could find both pieces of Dark Depths in this turn, for example. Shadow Spear can get a little saucy. Seems like my opponent has a crop rotation. Alright, called that one. They're going for more Urza Saga. And Shadow Spear. Okay, that's fine. So I will just Bow-Sage you Shadow Spear, and then I have a guaranteed 2-turn clock. That's better than any other line that I have. Let's put my opponent to 6. Okay, they're just going to go ahead and stack up their damage. Bog is fine. Doesn't matter if I do either one of these. The same result, right? The same result. I can't ever block. Yeah, Progenitus is a legendary creature that costs 1 less. Okay, cool. We stole game 1. And now I have to decide how I'm going to sideboard here. I do not want Veil of Summer. I want to replace those cards. My opponent is playing Sphere of Resistance over there. I think Atraxa becomes Bane of Progress. And then I have 4 slots to fill. I don't think I go Leyline Helm for this matchup, despite the fact that, like, my opponent does have relevant graveyard stuff. I don't really love Collector Oof here. Maybe I keep it. Like, maybe I keep it and play Force of Vigor. Yeah, I think the easiest way that I lose this, other than just getting Marit Lage comboed, is by just dying to large constructs. An absolutely torrential downpour is starting up outside. Is this hand good enough? It's very fair. It's kind of wasteland proof. The Dryad Arbor in hand is super awkward for the purposes of this green sun. I think I keep it. Okay, yeah, there is a starting sphere. And we're just kind of chilling. I don't think I play the Dryad Arbor on turn 1 there. It's just wastelandable. I respond. Basics are fine here. What are you naming with this? Are you just going to, like, name a fetch land and try to spike it? It's real good if you happen to hit Wooded Foothills. Okay, Grist is a super reasonable name. I like that a lot. A Chrome Mox. I think I just stay wasteland proof. Do I play Chrome Mox? Mana neutral this turn? I think so. I think I'm comfortable imprinting one of the green suns. I will play a mana dork that produces white here. Okay, my opponent's got Mox Diamond. Into Elvish Reclaimer. It's a little annoying. I'm kind of being pushed off curve, and this lets my opponent start working towards Marit Lage. I think I'm just setting up this turn and kind of freeing my resources in the future. There is an Urza Saga. Bane of Progress is starting to look real good. Haywire Might, that's fine. They're not going to immediately go after my Mox. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that's natural order for Bane of Progress. Or not natural order, Green Sun. X is 6. Yeah, if they had mighted me, they would have played around this, but like, how would you know? How would you know to do that? Yeah, that feels good. GG's. My opening hand here does not produce green mana, despite having a large amount of mana. This hand is fine. Dryad Arbor will go back in this one, and we'll be looking to play a fair-ish initiative game. Lead on basic forest so I don't get wastelanded. I think sounds good to me. And then it's the age-old question of ignoble or noble hierarch. I am going to go with ignoble hierarch, as if one of these gets bolted, I want it to be the ignoble, because this one produces white mana for my seasoned dungeoneers. Are we doing lands again? No, we are not doing lands. Trinisphere is fantastic for me. Like, I am going to fully ignore that Trinisphere this game. So yeah, I'm going to take the initiative. I will have both of my basic lands. And I'm poised to do some very gross stuff. This is Vigilant, so like when this is forged up, it is going to outpace a lot of things that my opponent could play as a follow-up to Trinisphere. Ooh, Wasteland. This is my bullshit. I've seen this before. This is my video that I am releasing today. Alright, yeah, I got Wastelanded. We will forge up the Undermountain Adventurer. Veil of Summer has no text in this matchup. Okay. I always do that. My opponent goes to 10. Post-combat, I'm going to play this, and I'm just going to hold off on the Noble Hierarch. Alright, good stuff. I didn't expect, like, the best card in this league to be Bane of Progress, but here we are. 4 Veil of Summer out, and 1 Natural Order target out. I don't know which one of these is worse. Progenitus? I think Progenitus. I am willing to keep this hand. It has 2 copies of Force of Vigor in it, and a Once Upon a Time to kind of try to smooth out the rest of the hand. Yes, that's fine. Pitching Ghost Quarter. Trinisphere. Understood. I cast a Once Upon a Time here. I think I take this. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think that's okay. Wow. This is a little weird. I think I'm interested in Chrome Mox here to help stabilize my own mana. We'll put an Araxa under there. It'll tap for everything. Definitely scared of Wasteland on this Ancient Tomb. I think I'm good in most other scenarios. Urza Saga is fine. I will Force of Vigor that. Ooh, this is slightly different than my build. Alright. Can be activated only as a sorcery. So I'm going to cast Force of Vigor in this turn cycle. I don't want my opponent to blow up my Chrome Mox, so I think I go after these 2 right now. Let's target Urza Saga, Karn Silex. I will get rid of a copy of Force of Vigor. I'm hoping to hardcast the next one. Alright, there's an Ancient Tomb. And a Chalice on 1. That's fine. That has no real text right now. I'm just going to cast a Green Sun here. This X is 2. I think I just want a Mana Dork over something that can grow here. I'm not interested in trading artifact mana for artifact mana here. Blast Zone's not bad. I think that's a 1-for-1 trade for my opponent. Yeah, that's fine. But it's a 1-for-1 trade where they have Ancient Tomb. Ignoble Hierarch is not a great draw for me. I'm just going to run back my previous turn. I believe we are both at 12, having done not a single point of combat damage to each other. Ancient Tomb. She's a cruel mistress, that one. Womp. Sure. I think I just do the thing that allows me to continue to hit land drops. Gotta go for basic forest here. Call it a turn. Next turn I can start thinking about casting Force of Vigor on like this plus this or something. Ooh, it's just another land drop from my opponent, and that's probably not what they want to be seeing. 100% going down the Forge side here. A Dismember. This does tap for mana. So I just use that to Once Upon a Time. Yep. Find a Seasoned Dungeoneer with that. It'll land drop. Let's go ahead and fetch. I think I stay on basics. I will Seasoned Dungeoneer. This is a very real trap. Then Noble Hierarch gets to bust on in. Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, or Wizard? Wait. Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard. Cleric, Rogue, Warrior, Wizard, not Druid. Why did that trigger? Human Druid. Huh. Alright, GG's. Okay. I don't know about this one. So I can play a Chrome Mox, imprint a Once Upon a Time, cast a Once Upon a Time, play an Ignoble Hierarch, and that probably gets me to 3 mana, not to 4 mana. I think I just chip this one for something safe for her, which is not this. This is a 0-card hand. This is a keep. Veil of Summer goes back. Turn 1, Ignoble Hierarch. Turn 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 mana, just natural order YOLO. So I throw back Green Sun. Alright. So I have a plan. I have literally 0 ability to deviate from that plan. This is just like jam natural order, see if it works. If it doesn't, that's what game 2 is for. I think I have to jam. Because my hand doesn't do anything else other than this. Show me your days. Oh fuck, it happened. Progenitus? Progenitus. I am worried that my opponent is a opposing combo deck. And that what I've done here isn't going to be good enough. We'll see. Alternatively, they could just Sudden Edict me or something, and then I'm sad. Okay, that's not a relevant card here. We'll see if my opponent's dead. I beat Show and Tell past the turn lines. Opponent's at... No, sorry, they're at 8 after the fetch. Simeon Spirit Guide into Show and Tell. I put in this. Okay, there is Omniscience. I grab a basic land. Let's see if they have an Emrakul. They have an Emrakul. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 permanents. I am dead to that. That is unfortunate. Alright, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to sideboard here. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do Leyline Helm, just because speed matters so much. I'm not sure if Choke has a high enough impact. My opponent doesn't need that much mana, but a Choke that's backing up a Seasoned Dungeoneer or something can be very strong. I'm also not sure if I actually want Veil of Summer. I feel like I'm just kind of obligated to jam and hope that my opponent doesn't have answers. I can't really wait and hold back. I'm not very good at disrupting their combo. So I think these are supposed to come out. I think this comes out, this comes out. Collector Oof is still pretty weak. That gives me 6 slots. I think 2 of those slots are the chokes. I don't even have any removal for the Suvin Drifters. I don't think I'm going to try to fight over the enchantments with this stuff. I don't know, maybe Bane of Progress in hand is reasonable insurance. I'm not happy with my board plan for this matchup. I guess I'll keep some Veil of Summers. Yeah, this is fine. Alright. I have grabbed a cough drop here. Got a little bit of a throat tickle going on. And I am now ready to battle again. So, Show and Tell tends to be good against Chalice decks, and I conceptually think this deck very much has the play patterns of a Chalice deck. We're still a Stompy deck even though we've removed the lock pieces. This deck gets to dodge a lot of what I'm trying to do here. Sorcerer Speed Brainstorm's a little weird. I think I just jam the initiative card here rather than natural order. Forge into Trap is going to end up presenting a very similar or identical clock, while also not removing my Dryad Arbor. And tripping again. Negative, just clearing. Let's get some +1/+1 counters going. Oh, by the way, Moto changed its interface with Seasoned Dungeoneer. So it does this thing where it flashes the Seasoned Dungeoneer, but in the chat it said Seasoned Dungeoneer's trigger cannot be placed on the stack. So that's what was going on there. Alright, there's a Seasoned Dungeoneer. I will trap my opponent. They go to 13. I think I do this like this. Alright, this time it is a warrior. Yes, Veil of Summer can go into my graveyard. Alright, they're at 7. We've accomplished the same clock as Progenitus would have accomplished. Oh, I boarded a Collector Oof. In this case, this was suboptimal. Yeah, in this case, I should have just held up Once Upon a Time. Alright, there's Lotus Petal. There's Show and Tell. That's Sneak Attack. I beat an Emrakul here. I do not beat Atraxa Lotus Petal Emrakul, however, though. Yeah. So there's Emrakul, and I will concede to lethal damage. Yeah, we were just not faster than Show and Tell. We were just half a turn cycle too slow in both games. GG's. So we've ended up with a 3-2 finish today, and I'm perfectly happy with that, especially the first time trying out a new build. So at the end of the day, how does this compare to other initiative decks I've played? The power level seems similar. I like the different axes that it's attacking from, but I have a couple of thoughts. Number one, I think I boarded out Veil of Summer in every round, or at least trimmed copies of it. For a challenge specifically, where you do expect a higher density of blue cards, like I can see wanting to play it, but this deck is about jamming, right? Just conceptually, like you are trying to get to 4 mana, cast a 4 mana thing. I don't know that you want to be the deck that is like waiting and trying to patiently go and just like wait till you have 5 mana to Veil of Summer to protect a Seasoned Dungeoneer or something. I think Veil of Summer would be better off as some other threat. I'm not sure what that is off the top of my head. I don't know that you want to go for more 4 mana things, like say Shifting Ceratops or something like that. Maybe you play 4 Hate Bearers, like 4 Thalias, 4 Archon of Amerias or something like that. The thing about doing that though is the mana base is definitely green heavy. Like some of the things like Noble Hierarch don't actually produce white mana for that. So that's a thing. I really liked Bane of Progress in the sideboard. Like Bane of Progress and Force of Vigor did serious work this league. I was a little torn on whether or not Leyline Helm should come in some of the specific matchups, but like I liked what was going on here. Yeah, would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below about the deck list, and if you end up wanting to buy any of these cards or others, Cool Stuff Inc. is a great place to shop, and promo code ThrabenU will save you 5% on your order. Alright folks, I hope you have a great rest of the day. See ya!